Hi, I'm Kristen Rosenberg, and I'm here to bring you the Angel and Oracle reading for May 2026. I do this reading each month, and a message usually comes through from the divine realms. Either an angel or another divine entity comes through, bringing me a message. And I also do a card reading, just asking some questions about how the energies are coming up this month and what we can do to navigate them. Just a little bit about me. Again, my name is Kristen Rosenberg. I'm a holistic health practitioner, and I help people reclaim their health from chronic illness and chronic symptoms naturally. And I do that through a holistic health program called Nourish, Heal, Thrive, where I work one-on-one with people to use food, herbs, and supplements to support them in mind, body, and spirit to turn their health around. And I also offer a somatic breathwork experience called Freedom Process, where I help people release their mental and emotional patterns that keep them sick and stuck and from living the life that they truly desire. So if you're interested in working with me, please feel free to reach out to me by email at Kristen@inspiretruewellness.com. That's Kristen, Kristen, at inspiretruewellness.com. You can also visit my website at inspiretruewellness.com. I offer complimentary consultation calls so you can ask questions and learn more about what I do and see if we would be a good match to support you and your health. Okay, so let's get started with the message that came through for May 2026. So this month, a message came to me, and this was a different experience this month of getting the message, because it wasn't so much about an angel coming through. What kind of happened is I sat down to do this, to receive this message, and the way that the message usually comes through, I usually see a certain scene in my head, but that scene, I saw it and then it completely dissolved and went blank. And I found myself just back in my body, very aware of my body, my mind, my body. And it was very strange at first. I was like, what is happening? And I wasn't hearing anything either. So just very present in my body. And so I just started asking questions about what was happening. So after asking those questions, I just kept feeling that I was being directed back to my body so that I could share some information with you about mind-body alignment and how important it is right now for everyone, for the unfolding of things on this planet in the time ahead. And not just for the few months ahead, but for a lifetime as a way to live. So this is a really different kind of message, and it's not usually how it comes through. Again, it was very much coming through my body and showing me that I need to come back to my body, which I have been working on little by little. It's been a process. And I was being shown that I need to tell and talk about this to other people as well. And I do feel like this is being talked about in some circles, about this body awareness. It comes up a lot on my social media feed, but that's my algorithm since I'm working on that. So I'm not sure how many other people are running into this as well, but there is this importance of mind-body alignment. And this concept lines up with the work that I do as well. I'm a holistic health practitioner and I help people clean up their bodies physically. And there is also a mental, emotional, and spiritual aspect that comes along with this work, as it is a holistic approach. So I'm very familiar with this process and working toward my own mind-body connection always, and that alignment, and just refining it continually. So when you're working with the body and trying to support it physically through a more beneficial diet and lifestyle, and making better choices and exercising, doing all the things to support yourself physically, there is a point when you can see and feel that the toxic burden starts to lighten. Your body starts to feel different and it doesn't feel so heavy. There's less looping in your mind and there's less anxiety and less dysregulation in the body. And you start to feel more connected and can hear signals that are coming through more clearly. As spiritual beings who are able to connect with our world and interpret things intuitively, all that messaging comes through the brain and the body through the nervous system. And when our bodies are kind of blocked up with all this accumulation, it's not that we can't hear things coming through, it's just not as clear. And sometimes we may not be able to hear it coming through. So it is important to try and clean up our bodies and be more conscious of how we're caring for ourselves and what we put into our bodies, because that can truly affect our nervous systems. And then that affects how we perceive signals that are coming through to us from the universe and how they're interpreted and how we feel them. The message for this month is that the higher realms want us to start paying attention to our bodies and really listening to what's going on inside ourselves. If you're feeling exhausted, rest. If you're feeling really thirsty, you probably are and have been dehydrated and need to drink a lot of water, not coffee or other soft drinks, just healthy or beneficial drinks like water. So as we're listening to our body, this is all about connecting to our higher self, the higher self that's within each one of us. So again, it's time to listen to your body so that you can hear the signals and the signs and the frequencies coming through the body specifically. These signals can sometimes be symptoms, pains, or bodily sensations that can help guide you in your life and help you make decisions that are in alignment with you. And when you do that, this is when you'll benefit. You'll be in flow, in the flow of abundance, in spirit's flow of abundance. It's in this mind-body connection, allowing your heart energy to flow from that connection, that you can be in this gold frequency of source. And that can fill your life, allowing you to be of service to the world, to do what you love, and be here sharing what you're meant to share. That's all a part of divine inspiration, and it all starts with listening to your body and connecting to that higher self aspect of you. So again, the message truly for this month is to be aware of your body. Stop ignoring what your body is saying to you. If your foot hurts, tune into that. Did you injure your foot accidentally to cause pain? Or could there be some kind of mental or emotional issue attached to that feeling or sensation you're having? Start being aware of what's happening in your body. You can even start a journal about what's happening and reflect on any connections. Did you have a fight with your partner? And then after that, did you feel a pain in your abdomen or in your stomach? Is that something that happens often when you experience conflict, or does it happen only when you're arguing with a particular person? It's just trying to see if there are connections and to start understanding what's happening in your body. Are there certain stressors that trigger certain sensations? Are there certain sensations that pop up over and over again? Can you correlate that to something? It's all about awareness and being curious. We have this amazing body with this physical technology. It has the ability to heal itself, and instead of seeing your symptoms as something that's going wrong inside or breaking inside of us, it's time to tune into those symptoms, to those sensations that we're feeling as a body's way of speaking to us to tell us that yes, there's something going on here and that it needs attention so that we can bring it back into balance. We so often live in our mind that is cut off from our body often. And it's like we're living in the future or in the past because we're thinking about all of these things, that we're worried about getting things done or stressed about how things will turn out, or we're ruminating on something that we regret, or we're angry about it, and it's stealing our ability to be present in the moment and to be present with our bodies, to attend to the needs of the body now. That presence and attention and intention are the most important things. That's the way we can develop a connection to ourselves. So, as an idea to practice this presence and listening to your body each month, you could try to take a few minutes each day, whenever you have time throughout the day, just to sit with yourself for a moment and breathe and tune into yourself and really feel the sensations that you're feeling in your body. Get curious and really take a minute to feel it and write it down. You may notice patterns, and if you can start to do this practice, again, I would start practicing it each day and allow yourself to really get to know your body's signals and just to be quiet and sit with that, with what you're feeling. Because while you're feeling into it, you may have information come to you about those sensations and what they're trying to tell you. And if you do, definitely write that down, journal with it for a bit. It's in that journaling that more information can come to you. And when that sensation is acknowledged and addressed sufficiently, there may be a shift in how you experience it. And if you write it down, you may see patterns or nuggets of information emerge, and you can refer to that later to reflect on it and integrate it. It'll just help you remember what's happened. I know I have a hard time remembering sometimes, so I encourage you to write it down and to do this practice. That's what higher self aspect was coming through to tell me this month. And while you're doing this practice, if you are experiencing symptoms, I want to say that it is always a good idea to get any bodily issue checked out by a medical professional. I'm not suggesting that you ignore symptoms, aches, or pains that you're feeling and just chalk them up to a mental, emotional, or spiritual issue when there could be something greater or deeper happening. No, not that. What I'm suggesting is that this can be a practice to help you get in touch with reading your body and understanding yourself more fully as a divine being, as a part of Source. It's a chance to understand potential mental and emotional patterns that may be contributing factors to making us feel stuck, and they may be aspects that we may be able to influence and have some agency over. So again, tune into the physical nature of your body and remember that again, it's not about being broken, but about coming back into balance and presence with yourself. Okay, so now let's talk about the card reading for May 2026. The first card I pulled is related to what is the nature of our obstacles this month. And I pulled the Hawk Prince card in reverse or upside down. And this card in the reverse position indicates that there's something that isn't quite right in our life. And that makes sense in relation to asking about what is the nature of our obstacles. So there's an obstacle or something that isn't quite right. And there may be a lot of red flags waving in our lives, and it's important for us to pay attention to what's going on right now. This card is also here to bring awareness to something in your life, whether a person, event, or situation where you're not potentially listening to yourself, or signs that something more may be going on underneath the surface that isn't in your best interest or for your best benefit. So are you pushing forward in life without reading the signs around you telling you that things aren't quite what they are or what they should be, or that this might not actually be the best thing for you at this time? I very much appreciate this card in relation to the message that came through for this month, because we're trying to get ourselves in tune with our bodies again. And in order to do that, that involves listening to our bodies and giving them what they need. Because so many times I think when we need to get things done, we just push and push and push forward without listening to what our bodies are saying to us. And that's how we end up with sickness and stress and tension and just an overall sense of not feeling good. So if you're not feeling well and you are or have been pushing yourself too hard, it's time to tune into that and really give yourself what you need. If your physical, mental, or emotional health is an obstacle for you, it's time to feel into what's happening inside you and really pay attention to what you need and then act on that. Of course, this card can be related to projects or relationships or finances in terms of needing to pay attention to what's going on and seeing red flags as well and not ignoring them. So the Hawk Prince is telling us that there are obstacles right now, but you really need to look a little deeper at things and pay attention instead of just pushing forward. The next card I pulled was in relation to what's our next best action to support us through these obstacles. What is it that we should be doing to help ourselves at this time? And I pulled the Ice Queen card, which is absolutely perfect in relation to the Hawk Prince card that I just talked about. The action for this month that is best for us is non-action. The Ice Queen is all about non-action and using the time to reflect on where you've come from and reevaluate where you're going and what your goals are at this point. It's giving us some time to take a minute to rest and pause and figure out which way we want to go. Because right now we need to be selective in that we can't do everything all at once. So we need to choose one thing and focus on it, and then put the other items on our to-do list on pause and come back to it at a later time. So this is an energy of pausing, reassessing, and readjusting depending on what's going on, and then reorganizing and allowing other projects and focuses in our lives that may not be our top priority to just be, and know that we can come back to it when the timing is right. And trusting Spirit, that Spirit will show us when it's the right time to come back to those things and work on them. In relation to the Hawk Prince card I just pulled, the Ice Queen is perfect again. we see and realize that there may be some red flags that we're not looking at in our lives. So the Ice Queen is here to also tell us that it's time to pause, look at that, and stay still to reflect more deeply about what's happening for us, to reassess where we've been, where we are now, and where we're going, and that it's okay to be in this state of pausing and non-action. In fact, the best action is non-action this month. That brings us to the next card, which is related to Spirit's role behind the scenes for this month. And the card that I pulled is the Cosmos. This card is telling us that Spirit's role is about working on co-creating with us behind the scenes. And while Spirit is doing that, we need to put our focus on creativity and on our passions to fuel that co-creative relationship with Spirit. But remember, the Ice Queen card just indicated that we can't be focusing on a million projects. So we need to bring our focus this month to the most important things that we want to work on. And in order to decide what to focus on, we want to bring our attention to what is in alignment and integrity in our hearts in terms of what we want to accomplish in life and where we want to go and what we want to see happen in our lives. So again, it's important to tap into your creativity and into your heart energy and really get connected with that, because Spirit will bring you the things that you act on and focus on. This card really highlights the idea of creativity and that Spirit responds to the creativity that's within you. So while we're in a state of recognizing red flags in our lives and pausing for a minute to reassess where we are and where we're headed, as we do that and get clear in our hearts about how we want to proceed and what's important to us and what we think really lights us up, and as we move toward that and get clear about it, Spirit will respond to that. And Spirit's role is to work in the unseen to help us co-create that which we want to see in our lives and that which is in alignment with who we are. And be aware, we're always creating. So whatever we're seeing in our lives is a reflection of how we're aligned or not aligned with ourselves. So just be conscious of that and know that Spirit is here this month to help create what we want to see. And that may not mean, as I said, that we need to run out and take action and feel like you have to make things happen. Instead, we need to pause, reflect, reassess, and move forward with focus on the important things right now and be in a receptive state so Spirit can respond to that energy and support us. And the next card I pulled is about the energy that is carrying us forward. I added this question to the card reading in April last month because of the different way that the angel message came through for me this month. I decided to keep this question in this reading just to give us some more information. And it was really a fortuitous thing. It feels very guided by the angels. Another thing that's interesting about this card coming through in this reading is that the one before this card, the Cosmos, and then this card, the Winged Wise One, they are the only cards in this deck that do not have upside down or reversed reading position. They can only be read upright or have one meaning. So they can only be supportive, and they are representative of the angelic and spiritual support and action that's here for us. So I think that's a really positive sign to see that's coming forward for this month. Okay, so in terms of the energy that's carrying us forward, the Winged Wise One card came up, which indicates that this is a time for us to have faith and express sincere prayers, intentions, or meditations with our higher power. That will support and facilitate divine intervention in our lives that can contribute to miracles, healing, and transformation for us. Again, it's about co-creation and being connected to the divine in a true, sincere, and aligned way. So we're being not just called to connect, but to take it a bit further and be conscious of what we're creating, what we're focusing on, just like the prior cards indicated. And I feel like this message of connection just keeps coming through in different ways over and over and over again in recent months. So it's very interesting to add in the co-creation idea and manifesting aspect in terms of how Spirit's supporting us. So keep tapping into your connection and be on the lookout for intuitive hits and downloads. You may start getting inspired thoughts, so pay attention to that, because when you feel like an idea just comes to you or a solution, that can be Spirit supporting you, and that's the energy that's supporting us right now. We're tapping into the connection with our higher consciousness and our higher power and our higher self, and allowing the information and inspiration to lead us to where we need to go. So I see this card reading as coming full circle to where we started with the higher self message today. It's bringing us again back to our bodies and asking us to tap into our bodies as a way to connect to the higher self within each of us, which is part of the divine matrix, the greater whole, the universe or source, however you call your higher power, all of these things which make up the whole, the unified field we exist in. They're all the same, and our bodies and our higher self are the pathway to that connection to ourselves and to each other as a part of greater and higher consciousness. So I'll just read an excerpt from the guidebook for this card just to wrap up this reading. It says, "Be aware of the higher consciousness in you. This is a good time to observe your thoughts through meditation. Who is observing those thoughts? The self is kin to the winged wise ones who have come to help you soar." So again, tune into your body, tune into your thoughts and feelings, and do that as a part of your efforts to strengthen that connection to spirit. Then, with prayer and faith, allow those inspired thoughts and events to come through and be received. When you do, you'll impact the world around you and beyond. It may not seem like it, and you may not see it right away, but it does matter, and there can be a gradual cumulative effect. You're a part of this great existence of creation, and your vibrational frequency can't help but influence and impact the higher vibration of the whole. So again, reflect, reassess, and demonstrate faith in Source and the angelic realms. And tune into your higher self and the supportive energy that's moving you and all of us forward right now. So thank you so much for being here. Again, this month, it's all about clearing out all of the muck on the surface levels to allow the beauty to shine through from underneath. It's that we're all love, and this is a time to allow that love to shine through and shine forth. It's a time to come into the physical body, to honor it for the sacred vessel that it is, that houses this beautiful spirit of light within you and all of us. So again, thank you for being here. If you're interested in working with me, please feel free to reach out to me by email at Kristen at Kristen at inspiretruewellness.com. You can also visit my website at inspiretruewellness.com. I offer complimentary consultation calls so you can ask questions and learn more about what I do and see if we would be a good match to support you and your health. So again, thank you so much for being here and listening to this reading. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next time.